All right, Nathan, what are we doing today?
All right, so we're still cracking along with the Cortina. So we're gonna mount our dash. We've got an IC7. We're gonna mount that in the cluster. We've got to build like a bit of a plate. Probably gonna look at a little bit of the wiring that's behind the dash, what we're gonna get rid of, what we need to label for the dash.
Get the original dash out, get the old speedo drive out because now it's going to be electronic, no more cable.
Yeah.
And just sort of see what we're dealing with and get on with Haltech mounting day.
Yeah, Haltech mounting day. Well, I mean, if Michael was feeling really pumped, like, we can still wire it up.
Well, yeah, we could.
There's nothing stopping us from wiring it up.
We could start wiring it, yes. I think you're underestimating how hard it's going to be to mount this dash.
Oh, the dash?
The dash.
Oh, it's going to be a piece of cake.
I don't know. I reckon we're going to open it up and go, it don't fit.
No, I've got no issues with that. I think that'll be fine.
All right, well, we'll see how far we get.
It comes with a template, man.
Oh, well, we'll see.
I thought it comes with a template.
What's in there, actually?
I don't know.
Oh, the canvas.
Stickers. Oh, we were literally saying, where's our really expensive stickers?
There they are.
There they are.
There you go.
There it is.
So we need that to go in the car.
Yeah. Because the thing is, we need to cut around this bulky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sits flush. It's only got 3 bolts. Doesn't even use 4. See? Sometimes you don't need 4, just 3. All right, cool. Let's pull the dash part.
Yeah. All right, well, the first thing we need to do is we're going to get the steering wheel out of the way. The good thing about this steering wheel is there's nothing in the way of seeing that Haltech apart from like the big band that goes across there.
Well, this steering wheel was run in F100s. It was pretty universal.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it didn't say Cortina though on the F100.
No. It'll look pretty tough with a little red button in the corner.
Actually, I was going to ask you, are we trans braking this thing?
It is trans braked.
It is trans braked already?
Yeah.
Ooh. Feels weird pulling this. A lot more of that came off than I thought was going to come off because there's no horn in there, is there?
Nope.
Oh, you know, I was expecting...
It's literally just a crash pad.
Yeah, I was looking at this is what saves you. Yep. That's delightful to crash
Well,
into.
it's better than your Holden. Beep!
True. So basic, isn't it? See, now I feel like a NASCAR. You know, in the NASCAR when they literally just took off the crash pad and that's how they run. So if you're wondering where the horn is, because there is no horn in the crash pad like normal, it's not even a ring horn like an XY was. It's here. Beep, 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 beep. On the stalk. I've never seen that in a car. Seen that in trucks before, but not in a car.
Have you not been in my XE?
Is it actually the same?
Yeah, XF.
Really?
They're all the same.
Weirdos. It's a very basic dash thing, isn't it? I got fuel, I got speed, and I got temp.
Yeah, Ford gave you all you needed to see, mate.
Oh, you can take over from me.
Nah, mate.
Oh, this is it's really stuck on. I wonder whether we can pull it off because there's 2 threads here. Because she's tight.
That's it, you gotta work it.
We're off to a good start. Calling in the big gun. Always closing the door and everything. Oh, see? Seat not in the right spot.
Oh, that's tight.
It's tight, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's very tight.
I know. I've never come across a steering wheel that tight.
Let's pull it.
I've had to piece together a couple different things from our multiple puller sets. Can't say I've ever come across a steering wheel that's needed this, but here we go.
It's probably because it's still stuck on from what year is this? 73, I'm guessing.
73?
I don't know. 78. Way out. I'm wondering if there's maybe something else holding the steering wheel on, but just give this a slight crack.
Yeah.
See if it moves it.
How do you get it on? Oh, I suppose you just pull it
Good
in.
old harmonic balance away. Just pull it on with the bolt.
Oh!
There you go.
It's spring loaded.
So it's just tight.
There's a big spring behind it.
I reckon I loosened that off though, definitely.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I did think that.
I've seen it move.
It was all Nathan.
Yeah, it moved like a spider web.
See?
Thickness.
Brain, brawn. Nathan's like, just pull it till it comes off. And I'm like, there's got to be an easier way.
There's actually a spring behind it.
Yeah, there is. I don't want to die. Yep. This big thing, look.
Is it a spring? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big... Oh, it's the indicator canceller thingy. It goes into that little
Oh, okay, yeah.
plug there.
Alright, I'll just leave that there so I don't lose it.
Yep.
I'll take that.
Take that, please. There are a lot of wires going into that.
Oh, you know, when you got your horn on your stick.
I know. Like, that's a lot of wires going into that, considering all that did was indicators and horn. There's a lot of wiring in that.
Look at how thick the wiring is too.
I know.
Look at the wiring back then.
Solid clicking too.
Good clicks.
Good clicks.
Good clicks.
Do rate the clicks. Oh, steering column's gonna come down. Okay. Okay.
There we go. Alright, I'm going to try and pull this apart because
Then we can see where we can mount our
I need to
dash.
pull this out, and I reckon we're going to have to chop out the top of this.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the easy thing is? We're not making a plate to go in here. We make a plate to bolt to this.
Yeah, and then that bolts into the thing, yeah.
So easy peasy. Alright. Oh, it's easy.
It's actually not a pretty neat unit the way it all comes out.
It is a very neat unit. This car I really like. So far, I really enjoy working on this car. I think it's just because it's not, well, it hasn't come in a box of bolts.
Yeah, exactly right. We're the ones actually pulling it apart for once, which has been a nice change. It's a modern style dash as well too, the way that they do all this.
Is this video?
Don't know.
Oh, it's made in Australia. Hard to say that nowadays.
It is.
Skadoosh.
And just like that. So I need this thing.
You want this?
Yeah, I want that.
Okay.
Because I
then,
can trace all this wiring.
I'm going to work on this, I guess, but pretty easy.
The only thing is, hold that against it. It's bigger.
Oh, no. No, easy. It's no issues, mate.
Why?
You literally just plate the back of this,
Yeah.
and then what we'll do is just notch out that. That's it.
To send it upwards.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Easy as.
Oh, hang on, you can't send it upwards though, because then you lose your shift lights.
Can you not see it like that?
No, they're on top.
That's all right. What we can just start with, though, is we can make our plate,
Yeah.
and then we can, because this isn't going to sit like this, it's going to be sitting in front of it. So it's going to sit a lot more forward, but it's going to sit low too.
Right. Is there the other option that we run it in front of it?
What do you mean?
Like run the screen on the front of this, and then just plate behind it, like that? So that way you see the gauges and everything, you see the lights, dash lights?
Well, that'd be a lot easier to do, because then we just make this plate up and then just put 2 folds in it, and it just screws into the plastic there.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of
That's,
what I'm thinking, yeah.
I don't mind that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then look, then it misses the steering column as well too.
I think that looks the best. All right, that's a piece of piss then. I literally just got to make a plate that fills that in.
Yeah.
I'll just put tab there, tab there, tab there, tab there, just to put 4 screws in it.
The only thing is we've got to figure out how we're going to get this in and out, because if the bolts for the panel behind...
No, you just pull the whole thing out.
Yeah, but how do we get to the bolts? Because the bolts for it are going to be behind the panel, aren't they?
Ah, that's true.
Oh, you're getting fancy.
I'm wondering if I can just come up with something different. I thought maybe I could transfer these speed nuts onto that, and then this could screw into that to hold it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work. So because you can't get to this with a screwdriver.
We just need an easy way to mount this up.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so after trying to reinvent the wheel on how we're going to get this thing mounted so we actually get it in and out once it's in place, we were not keeping it simple, were we?
All right, so the simple solution, we'll just put a bit of angle here, and then we make a separate plate for this. So then this can still get fully screwed back in.
Yeah, and
then
it's
our
using
plate,
all the standard bolts.
we'll use all the standard bolts, and then our plate with our Haltech bolted to it can bolt into this.
Yeah, so
And then we can easily take it out and do wiring, and we don't have to pull the fascia out and drop the steering column every time.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Just a couple of right angles, some nutserts, and a flat piece of plate.
Exactly. So we're going to make it out of an aluminium face, aluminium angle, put a nutsert in it. Bloody beautiful.
What I'm going to do now is, these dashes are fairly simple. There's not much to them, and there's honestly not much info coming to the dash anyway. I've only got temperature and I've only got fuel. So to be honest, I'm not going to use any of them because we're going to rerun all them anyway. The only thing I need to find is indicators, and the way that I do that is I find out which was my indicator lights down here. So these globes here, you can trace it back to what in pin it would have been just by following the road of copper that it runs through. So I'll find them, label it on the pins. So we've got them, so when it comes to wiring in the dash, which really if we get it mounted today, there's nothing to stop me from actually wiring it in today. So, let's get into it, eh?
Do it.
Might be wrong, but I reckon you're probably going to cut that down a little bit.
These are going to go on the side like so.
That precision CNC machine that we have.
Good. Plate's all done.
Oh, we sanded it as well too.
I did, yeah. So that's all there. So that's going to go like that. I am just going to double-sided tape these tabs on, so then I can drill the hole like through the plastic and through this and stuff, and then I'll take the double-sided tape off and then just bolt it to it. This side, I'm just going to put one bolt in the middle, and then the 2 screws that screw it into the other side of the face shaft will hold this plate in too. Drill our holes where we want them, and yeah, easy peasy.
I do love it when a plan comes together.
I do too, and when it works this smoothly.
Alright, let's see how she looks. Watch my wiring. Look at that, it's one of them new Tesla things with no dash.
Where's the dash?
Oh yeah.
Pretty happy with that.
Catch. Very nice.
I've got to get the template, lay the template onto this, cut out this little section, so then this will sit flush, and then 3 little bolts into that, and then we're finito. How you going?
Good.
Oh, look at this planning
I know.
that Michael's doing. This is just, you don't see this on Hackshop, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make life easy for ourselves, because the only things that we need to pick up from here is basically warning lights, handbrake light, indicators and high beams. I could look at the wiring diagram, yes, but there's a really easy way that I can do this and be 100% sure that it is going to work. Or, sorry, I'm never going to say 100% sure. Pretty close to sure it's going to work. I'm just following the roadmap. So like this one here, I know is my indicator light. So all I did was go, yep, this little tab here, number 3 down. I think this one here goes to there. That's my positive.
How do you know it's positive and not ground?
Because ground is common, so common goes through the whole dash.
Yep.
So I know it's like on the other side here, if I followed that, it follows along. It's probably hard for you guys to see, but it follows along and shares the common ground here, which would turn on the lights for just the backlight for the dash.
Yep.
So that's how, it's an easy way of knowing. And like I'll test all this beforehand anyway, but it's just before I go and cut the plug off or cut these wires out, I'm just going to follow this, find out where everything should be, and then I'll double check that on my wiring diagram before I go any further with it as well too. So I'm doing a real dodger here, and I'm using a 12-volt battery from a power tool to power the vehicle, only because I'm not drawing any current when I start anything off it. I just need to know where all my signals are coming from and which is your positive and negative, just to double check it. Remember before how I said the reason why I was looking at the dash to figure out all my wiring, that's because when I looked at the wiring diagram, which is this sucker over here, this is what I was met with. It's not exactly easy to decipher or quick to decipher. It's quicker to decipher it from the dash itself, and the wiring colors don't match up. So not uncommon for these wiring. I feel like half the time back in the like the 70s and 80s when they were wiring up cars, it's just whatever Bob grabbed off the reel. It wasn't so much a standardized system. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. But we're going to try it now with this little 12-volt battery. Hopefully that works. I think it will, because we're not drawing massive power or anything, and go from there basically. Pretty sure that's our existing wiring loom there.
Hey, lights.
Do they work?
Yeah.
Oh, they did work. It works! Where's the headlights though?
We didn't plug them back in.
Ah, that's probably why they don't work. I hope that battery doesn't go poof. I can't believe that's working. Okay, so that's good. That means now I can check my wiring to see what's what. Using that little battery. Probably not ideal, probably wouldn't recommend it, but this car basically is a standalone sort of wiring at the moment. So the original wiring still exists in the vehicle, which is good, because it means that we don't have to worry about trying to wire any of that up. It should already be here. So all I'm doing now is making sure that the original wiring still works and I've got the right ones. But this loom will be separate from our engine management loom, basically.
Yeah.
Where's my right hand indicator? Should be this one. And it is. So that works. My left hand indicator should be this one. Greeny. And it is.
Nice.
It's all there, it's all working. So now I can actually wire this thing in. So I will wire it up today to work to the dash. And yeah, then we can basically put that dash in. Anything else we're going to add on later, we can add at a later date. But now that I know that that works, that's a big relief because that's all easy stuff. So pretty happy with that one.
Oh, snaps into place.
That fit. That's good.
All right, now I'm going to bolt this to this and bolt it in. We'll see if it fits.
Look outside.
I need. Oh, it comes with them. Shit.
Alright, so I'm going to make up a wiring loom that basically goes from this to another terminal, which will then plug into the existing wiring loom on the car. So I've got the colours I need. I'm just going to work my way through that and get it done. So the wiring that I would normally use is too thick to go into the plug that goes in the back of the Haltech. I don't have really anything thinner because I usually work in higher grades, but luckily I kept all the offcuts from the Fairlane Haltech wiring loom. So I can use that for my wiring at the minute. When we first released this build, a lot of people asked us to go into detail on the wiring, so for some people that may be pretty boring, but there are a few people out there that are interested in finding out about it, how it works. It's really fairly simple, honestly. If you can wire up a car stereo, you've done that before, you probably wouldn't be far off trying to do this, because it is pretty easy. It's just like basically paint by number. You just figure out what's on your wiring diagram here, like your inputs here. So for example, I'm looking for my right turn now. So that is pin number 23.
Yeah, I'm getting involved with this wiring. Me. This guy.
It's pretty simple, and all I'm doing is just basically just pinning to the, hopefully the right one. And this one here, I'm just putting to a secondary plug as well too, because I'm going to use a Deutsch plug in there. So if we have to pull this out for any reason, we can. If we need to run any extra wiring or anything like that at some stage, we can do that fairly simply. It's fun doing stuff from scratch. The Fairlane we didn't do like this. It was all done in the car. The plug is hard, like all the wiring is wired directly to this. So if we had to pull that plug out for any reason or add anything in, you can't do it off the car like I'm doing now. It has to be done in the car. Being able to pull it out and work at your desk with plenty of room around you and everything is just makes life so much easier than trying to do it in a cramped dash space. It goes a long way when it comes to diagnosing an issue when there becomes an issue, because there will be issues. I can assure you of that. What you doing?
Well, I'm waiting for paint to dry. So what I am going to do was I was going to run the wiring for the sender unit. But we ended up just looking at finding the original sender wiring, and we're just going to use that. But I am going to run, I might as well, because I pulled the back seat out, the wiring to the fuel pumps. So I'm just going to run some dual core wiring to the back.
And up to where the ECU is going to go, which is up on near the dash area.
Yep, and also we didn't tell you in the last episode, but the firewall is actually already made for this car. So it's still in temporarily. We've still got to probably seam seal this in and all the gaps, so then it's completely sealed off. But there is a firewall in it, and you can actually see the tubs a bit better as well.
Yeah, I've never really seen the tubs actually, so first time I've seen them. They look good.
So
but the firewall is obviously for engineering purposes because we have the fuel cell in the back. This is required, and also not even for engineering, but for like drag challenge stuff like that. If you've got a fuel cell in the back,
yeah,
you need to have a firewall in the back.
Every pretty much event is if you have a petrol tank in the boot, you've got to be sealed off from the fuel.
Yep.
So this is pretty much standard with fuel cell stuff. All right, so I ran the fuel pump wiring. That's it there. Michael's probably going to put a relay box in anyways back here, because we do need to do our little gajiggy with the draining of the tanks and stuff like that. There's still a lot to go. We do still have to run our main power wire. So the back seat's going to have to come back out again. So I'm probably just going to clip it, just sit it all in there.
Yeah.
Probably not going to clip it in because I've got a feeling we're going to be doing a wiring day soon.
Oh yeah, buddy, look at that.
Oh, that's sick.
Tell me which one's factory. So that's my wiring loom here. So I've just basically cut up the existing plug, which was this went to the dash. That's now gone. It's running to a Deutsch plug. I love the word Deutsch. And then behind there, you can see all these little furry little guys here. I've just terminated them and put shrink wrap all over them. So because there are some positives in there, I'm not exactly positive which ones are the positives. I'm going to take all precautions and just terminate them all so that we don't end up getting any sparkles where there shouldn't be sparkles, Nathan.
No sparkles?
No sparkles.
Good.
Anyway, here, take this.
No melting of dashes?
No melting of dashes here. So before we plug anything in, what we'll do is we will just plug this wiring in, because like we said, from here the dash shouldn't really need to come back out again now, unless there's a fault with my wiring, which is highly likely. It should be okay now. So I will plug in to the car. So that's all the sensors, all the turn signals, everything for the car done. So it's just going to sit back there, which is nice and neat. This one goes to the dash. This one here belongs to this little guy here, and this is just the CAN bus. This is what actually powers the dash itself, as well as also sends all the info from the ECU, which is going to live over there, to the dash. And then this one,
that's to go to the computer, isn't it?
This one goes to the computer when we want to plug into our screen. So they plug in separately. You can't read the screen from the Haltech, unfortunately. So you run this adapter, and all this is just going to a USB. That'll plug straight into a laptop if need be. So we'll run that into like our non-existent dash area. But with that, ooh, we're ready to plug in. Nathan has actually painted it, so let's see what it looks like. Ooh, that looks a bit fancy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice. So we just painted it black temporarily.
It's probably going to stay
Although,
like
to be honest,
that.
it looks so good, we could probably just leave it.
Yeah.
MPW be proud. Pista resistance.
That is to read our dash.
And that is to do everything else. So we'll change these bolts out when we get a chance. He's excited. He's excited.
Cortina. Oh, baby.
What do you think?
I love it.
That looks so good. Shifter. Just feels better.
I know, like, it's all we did was a screen, but you know, well, it's that part of the wiring finished now. So why is that falling?
It's one of those quick release.
You got that quick release, like when you want max airflow, you just rip it out. Yeah, this car's sick.
It's coming together.
I really, really want to do the wiring now. I really want to do a wiring day on this thing.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we could do that.
I'm really excited to do the wiring day. Man, I love it. It looks good.
It's very cool. It looks very neat.
It come up very neat, yeah.
We reckon we still will wrap that because the black doesn't exactly match, and if we wrap it, we might get it to match perfect. So I think it's going to look good. Put some black Allen key button heads on those where those bolts are.
Yeah, I think it'll finish it up.
Yep. All right. Well, that means we can cross off half this mount dash. Next is for another day, but we're crossing the list off slowly but surely. We are getting through the list. That can go back on there where it belongs. But we're getting there. That's as much as we're going to get done for today. The mounting of the... I've really got a collection of pens here, don't I?
Oh, that's where they've all gone.
Yeah. Getting the dash in, I think is a big achievement. I'm really wrapped with how that's turned out. It looks killer. It looks... doesn't look over the top, doesn't look out of place. It actually suits it quite well. And it was one of the easiest installs and dash installs. And as far as wiring goes, most simple wiring I've ever done on a dash, because it was so... everything was there in one plug. So all I had to do was basically cut it all up and put it into place. So I'm really stoked with that. Couldn't be happy with how it's looking so far. Anyway, if you've liked this episode, and I hope you have, I hope you consider liking and subscribing. It goes a long way to helping the channel. And if you want to help it any more, head on over to the website. Bunch of merch, stickers, fender covers, thread testers as well too. Also, if you want to become a Hackshop Garage member, you get stuff like merch store discounts. You can go in the runnings for our monthly giveaways, which consists of King Chrome tools and Katana power tools, which we give away every month, all for less than $8 a month. That is a really good way of helping us do what we do here and funding certain projects that we have coming up that neither Nathan or I have any money for. And aside from that, I guess maybe next time we'll get into the wiring and mounting that ECU, so then we can actually start, like Nate said, spreading the wiring loom all over this car and coming up with a plan for that as well too. Anyway, until we see you next episode. I watched Wallace and Gromit the other day. You remember Wallace and Gromit?
Of course I remember that. They're bringing out a new movie.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I watched that the other day, and I was surprised to know that my kids knew who they were as well too. I was like,
Really? Because it's not on TV or anything anymore.
I know. I was shocked, and it was really hard to actually find. I got to be honest, like to get a streaming service that would have it. But I watched it, and like you know how English it is, like the tea, Gromit, and the biscuits, whatever it is. And I was like watching it, and I'm like, they would have driven a Cortina for sure.
What did you watch, like old episodes of the show, or did you watch the Were Rabbit one?
No, the old one. Like,
the
I
old
watched
one,
where
the OG one.
He goes to the moon and he eats the cheese.
Yeah,
the cheese, Gromit.
Yeah,
you remember?
Yeah.
And I watched it. I'm like, this is actually really good. Yeah. It still stands up to today.
That's a hell of a screw.
That's a hell of a bolt. Is it a screw or a bolt?
That actually, good question. When does a screw become a bolt? My definition is when it's like self-tapping. So like these, like that is I would say is a bolt because it's not self-tapping. These here, that to me is a screw because it self-taps. But a bolt doesn't self-tap.
Agreed. I said to myself I wasn't going to turn this Raceworks jumper into a welding one like my last one did.
Oh well, it looks very new actually.
Yeah, it is. Jamie hooked me up with a fresh one. I had to beg him.
Yeah.
Please, my old one's falling apart. It's got one sleeve.
We really need a drill press.
You know, Daniel, your brother,
literally
said the exact same thing to me. He's like, you know what you guys are missing? You have every tool in the world, but you don't have a drill press yet. And I'm like, yeah, it's because we don't want a cheap one.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly.
I'm like,
the
we don't want a cheap one, and the good ones are really expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Because the cheap $100, $199 ones, we look at them and just go, it's not made in England in 1902 though.
Yeah, exactly right. It's not a Bridgeport.
It's not a bloody Sam and Smith, you know.
Jackson and Sons.
Jackson and Sons.
Jacob and Charlie.
It's not a Wallace and Gromit tea and crumpet special.
Oh, I like that.
You know what the most expensive part about building cars is?
What?
It's not the wiring, it's not the fuel pumps, it's not the car parts, it's not the tools that come with it. No, it's buying the Red Bulls on the daily. Red Bull, hit us up with a sponsorship. Imagine how much stuff we get done.